All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's plug this hole. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Let's Get Lost podcast. Thank you for joining us a week late.
A week late?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to post it till Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So we're either going to be a week late or 2 days late.
So Thursday.
So depending on when you're listening to this,
it's either a Thursday or a Tuesday.
But either way, we're sorry we're late, but life got busy.
Life happens. I had to work.
Yep. So we're here for the long run, and I dig it. So how are you, Danielle? How's life? We have not been seeing much of each other compared to before.
It's because I'm going back to work.
I know, you bum.
Oh, yeah.
Leaving me here to tend to the farm.
I'm gone for 12 hours. It's a whole day. Yeah.
How's it feel to be back to work, though?
It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it. It's very tiring, though.
Sense of purpose again?
Yeah. I mean, I do. I do love to be home and to be with the dogs, but it is nice to get out and just change the scenery.
Well, especially your age.
Different conversations.
Less rants.
Something to talk about other than, because like when you hang out with somebody every day, what do you have to talk about?
The same shit all the time.
Yeah.
The chickens and really anything I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I tend to drive the conversation back to me. So how have I been? No, just kidding. So you said work's been fun. Good to get back to there.
It was nice to see dogs again other than mine. Get
the Snapchats from you again, which is fun.
Yeah. So I went to work yesterday and I took the puppy group and we have puppies right now.
Oh.
Usually our puppies, I do air quotes, are the teenager dogs. So they're not fully adults, but they're not that they're squishy puppy breath puppy anymore.
Yeah, bite your ears.
Yeah. So we have a whole new group right now and they are so fun.
Why the influx of puppies?
I would assume because of everything going on with Corona, people are adopting dogs, to give them something to do at home or a companion, something to do.
Then they go, oh yeah, this takes a lot of time. I better pay money to not have it be home.
Yeah. So we have, a whole new set and they are just the cutest. There's a little border collie puppy there and he has completely stolen my heart. His name is Rocky. He looks like.
Is that the one that's the mix that you sent me? You said it's half.
No, she's a Saint Bernard Great Pyrenees mix.
Oh man,
her name is Naga, and she is the cutest little bean.
Was she as soft as she looked?
Yes.
Maybe we'll post a picture on
Beyond
the socials
soft
if we can.
But so I actually asked where they got her, and she's from a breeder.
Really?
Yeah, I thought she was gonna say rescue, just given the breeds, but
the mix.
Yeah, if you want to.
So that was on
Great
purpose.
Pyrenees puppy.
I mean, how big?
I think you need to meet her. So she's only 4 months, and her paws are almost as big as my hands.
Oh my god!
Which doesn't mean a lot because I have really small hands, but for a human,
still a human. I mean, that's at least
Yeah.
a bear paw.
She's huge.
Well, I guess not a bear paw.
She's already way bigger than Jensen at 4 months old.
Oh my gosh.
So she's gonna be a big
Pyrenees, what's that one?
They're the ones that are out on sheep farms protecting the sheep. They're the big white
Irish hound ones?
Great Pyrenees. No. Those are Irish wolfhounds.
Yeah, that's what
they guard castles and shit.
Yeah, because they're basically horses with coyote teeth.
Yeah, no, Great Pyrenees are the big, white, fluffy ones that their job is to protect sheep and stuff.
Who do they attack? What's the biggest predator? Who do they attack? Who's the biggest predator that they could take out? Could they take out a wolf?
They try. So actual working Pyrenees, some of them have spiked collars and stuff to help them fight off wolves, coyotes.
Oh my god.
Aren't they so cute?
Look at him. He's just such a handsome boy. So that
mixed with a Saint Bernard.
That'd be the fluffiest puppy that's ever existed in history of the world.
If you met her, Mark, you would die.
Oh my goodness. I used to have a Great Dane.
Mm-hmm.
And a Saint Bernard, Billy.
Not at the same time, though.
No, very separate.
Yep. Yeah, Billy wasn't even that big of a Saint Bernard,
No.
and she was still huge.
Oh, absolutely gigantic for us, I guess. But when you compare it to other Saint Bernards, she would have been a small one.
Yeah, she was small, but man, was she a good dog.
Oh, she was so sweet. She was so sweet, but she did not get along with Billy.
Annabelle.
I mean, Billy is the dog I'm referring to. She got along wonderfully with herself. But Annabelle, our little Jack Russell.
Yeah, no, they used to. Well, so what had happened? They used to be best friends.
Yeah.
They used to love each other, and then Annabelle, our demon little Jack Russell, loved her dearly.
No, she was wonderful devil.
But she would, for one, like out of nowhere, she decided that she didn't like Billy anymore. And I think that they were both still. I don't think either of them had been spayed, so that would make sense.
Oh, that could be.
But Annabelle
hormones.
decided she didn't like Billy anymore and used to attack her throat. But because Billy was so furry and just so much extra skin, it never actually affected her.
Yeah.
And then you just pull Annabelle off and everything would be fine. You'd split them up. But then it got to the point where Billy was over it and started fighting back. So then we had to completely keep them
it was
separate.
awful. There was like different going outside times. It was like prison yard.
No, if they saw each other, it was an immediate fight.
Immediate
Immediately.
fight. But they'd both been in the house for
years
upon years at this point. So
I
it's
mean,
like,
Annabelle was probably 5, 6 when that started happening.
Yeah. So at this point, it's like, well, I guess this is our life now.
Yeah.
We made it work for a long, long time.
Yeah. There's a couple funny stories with that though, because one time Mom was home alone and forgot. Because it's easy. You walk out the door, you just forget to close it. Billy walks out right behind you. Yeah. So she had forgot. Well, my bathroom is just a really long hallway with like the laundry room next to it. And so Billy somehow met Annabelle in that bathroom and started fighting. Well,
and it's like 5 feet wide.
A very small bathroom.
It's so small.
Yeah. It's
so
not
with
big.
the countertop and stuff, I mean, you're talking, you have a 2-foot walkway that 130-pound dog
something.
And a 12-pound Jack Russell
Yeah.
are fighting inside of this teeny tiny little rectangle.
And Mom was home alone.
And
Nobody else was here.
5'2" of her.
Yeah, Mom's tiny.
Trying to pull Billy off of Annabelle, who just essentially has the entire dog in
Mom
her
couldn't
mouth.
even see Annabelle. All she could see was Billy's head.
Billy's head.
But the crazy thing, Mom actually got Billy off and like separated them, and Annabelle had 0 punctures.
Yep.
So
She just
literally
held her.
what Billy did was put her in her mouth and just held her on the ground. Because the only thing that happened was she had that dislocated shoulder, which would make sense for a dog that size sitting on a dog that small.
Oh, man. But she deserved it, man, because Billy could have killed her.
She could have.
If Billy wanted to, Billy would have absolutely killed Annabelle.
There's another funny story about Mom and the dogs.
I mean, everything was ultimately okay. I mean, Annabelle continued to live. Billy continued to live.
She just had a dislocated shoulder.
Yeah.
That she ended up actually limping for the rest of her life because of that. But she could have been eaten alive. So
yeah, well,
I'll
and
take
she
it.
could have walked too, because when she would really start running, every now and then she would put it down. So
she liked to fake it.
Psychosomatic, man. She did it for treats.
And then one time, Mom, I don't know how both of them got out back, but they got out back and started fighting. And Mom had just gotten out of the shower. And what's your first instinct when your dogs are fighting is to immediately break it up.
Yeah.
So Mom has her hair in a towel, and I'm pretty sure all she has on are bottoms. Like she only has underwear on, nothing on top. And the dogs are fighting, so Mom takes off across the living room outside onto the back patio to split these dogs up.
Oh my
and
God.
I think this was prior to the neighbor's privacy fence, so I can only imagine what that looked
Just
like
Mom's
to people.
boobs swinging in the air. Like, I didn't know that story.
Yeah, it's
Who was fighting? Billy and Annabelle?
I think so. Because those were really the only dogs that fought that we had.
No, that's true. That we've never had any trouble with.
Yeah, Mom took, because I was back here because I was in the back of the house, and where Mom was at was much closer to the dogs, and I heard the commotion, so I came running out, and that's when I saw Mom coming inside. I think she had Annabelle in her hands or something, and I was like, "What's happening?"
Annabelle, what happened? Oh, because we love our dogs. We didn't want them to get hurt.
I'd do the same thing. I'd run out there butt naked.
Well,
there's that video of that lady.
chasing
Have you
that
seen that one?
coyote.
Yeah,
going for
it's
a chicken.
her like security camera, and her chickens are just out in her backyard, and there's a fox, I think,
Yeah.
in her backyard trying to get her chickens, and she's butt ass naked.
Like so naked.
And she takes off running in her backyard after her chicken.
And that's what you do, man. And I would do the same thing. I have ran outside to our chicken coops so many times.
Yeah.
You know, and
You're
if I
just
happen
lucky you
to
have
be
clothes
naked at the
on.
time, you just do what you got to do. I mean, naked or not, I'm saving that bird.
You have to remember that you are going to be streaming the chickens.
Yeah, that's true. We are streaming. So I got a camera. I'm almost certain I'm getting a different one, though.
Really?
I'm like 99% sure that's not the one.
Oh.
I don't like the video quality. It's laggy as hell.
So after all that research.
Yep, I got more research to do.
Huh.
It just goes to show.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you can go and like work really hard, think you did read every article, and you'd still buy a piece of shit. So, and the funny part is, all the research I did, never once did I come across the term IP address camera. That's exactly what I need.
Okay.
So
you didn't know that at the time?
no, because I was trying to find a good camera for being outside,
Mm,
not being hard lined in through like a
Yeah.
main receiver,
yeah.
and I just never came across that term IP address camera.
Oh,
So now that I have that, I know what to buy.
well, there you go.
Babu, it's freaking sweet. So
Ooh.
that old camera's that camera's going back, getting a new one, but been doing the streaming of the chickens will come as I'm doing streaming of like the video games and stuff. Yeah, turn that shit off.
So speaking of Ring, did you think about a Ring camera out there?
I did. So you know the one we have on the garage with the spotlights?
Yeah.
I thought about doing that one, but I don't think you can just live stream that forever, right?
I think it's only like an hour or 45
yeah, so
minutes.
that won't work. So I need to find a camera that I can just have there
Just turn on.
and just.
Would the cameras that we have in the house work?
Well, those are wired,
Oh, that's true.
and
They don't even work.
Yeah,
We
I
have a
mean,
security camera in our house.
Yeah.
Don't break into our house.
Well,
but it
we
doesn't
have
even
the
work.
other cameras though.
Yeah.
We upgrade, but yeah, our owl cameras.
I just
took
think
a
it's
shit.
funny. You like walk in, there's like the ones in the corner, and you're like, this
Man,
doesn't work.
You never know. Keep them guessing. Because the cameras are there. They're still plugged into the thing, but the hard drive died.
Is that what happened
Yeah,
to it?
so if we replace the hard drive and I
Uh.
get the operating system, it'd
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can only imagine just seeing naked family
Oh,
members
it's good to
walking
see it. And that's
through the
something I
house.
worry about with those chickens because I am going to stream them for a couple hours every day and usually in the morning. So when I open them, I'm going to stream all that when we feed them, kind of do our chores. And
Yeah.
then whenever we're doing like a project out there, obviously,
Yeah.
I'll stream that too. I think it'll be a fun thing for people to just, pay more attention to me. I want to be able to touch as many people as I can because at the end of the day, I love the attention. I have just decided I love it when people listen to me and take my advice. That is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
There you go.
Whether it's podcasts, streaming, life coach, I don't care. All I want to do for the rest of my life, and hope in theory it'll make me money, is I want to listen to people, solve their problems, and then have people do what I tell them to do.
There you go.
And in the simplest way, it sounds bad, but in my mind, it's extremely complex and awesome, and I
don't
love
think
it.
it sounds bad.
Yeah, well, some people, some
Maybe
people are
the
just
wording,
negative
I would
Nancy's.
say, sounds bad,
Yeah.
but the idea behind
Because it's not
it-
about the control. It's just I enjoy knowing that it was me who
Helping
helped
someone.
that person succeed.
Yeah.
And usually one of the best ways to do that is to give people direction
Mm.
by telling them what their next step is.
Well, there's also a lot of lost people out there.
Yeah.
Like me, for a perfect example. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for you and Lindsay, there would be a
Man.
lot of things in my life that haven't been done.
It's crazy. You'd
I
still be
wouldn't have
gimping
health
around.
insurance. Yeah, I wouldn't probably have a foot.
Yeah. You
There's
were
just a
lost
lot of
into the
stuff that I have
diabetes.
learned from you guys, like in
Disclaimer,
life.
Danielle does not have diabetes.
I don't think so.
No. Are you excessively thirsty? Check.
I pee a lot.
Do you pee often? Double check. Oh boy, does your breath stink? Hell yeah. Check.
No, it doesn't. Is that a symptom?
Yeah,
Oh.
bad breath.
I didn't know
Because
that.
the when you're low on blood sugar or high, actually, that's just part of it. Makes your breath stink like ass. So if you got stinky ass breath and you're thirsty all the time and you pee a lot, you might want to go get the Starburst test. Nope, not Starburst. Tic Tac test.
What's that?
So a scientist figured out that how much a Tic Tac, a single Tic Tac, changes your blood sugar level.
Okay.
So, for a healthy person who doesn't have diabetes, whose renal system, not renal, ooh, I used to know all this stuff, whose diabetes system isn't working.
Okay.
If you eat 10 Tic Tacs, your blood sugar will raise this much. So what they do is they take your blood sugar.
Wouldn't it be rise?
You eat the Tic Tacs, raise, same. That's right.
It'll raise this much.
Yeah, rise is like.
It'll rise this much.
No,
that
raise
doesn't
is
sound
correct.
right.
Raise is correct. Rise is wrong.
Yeah, I'm right. You're wrong.
No, you're definitely wrong. I know for a fact you're wrong. So it'll raise it by X amount.
Okay.
So for you and I, for me, who doesn't have diabetes, I would take it. My blood sugar would be the same because my body did what it was supposed to. It released the insulin, counteract the sugar of the Tic Tacs. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, but for you, it would probably be higher, proving your diabetes. Amaru.
She's in Catholic church right now.
Yeah, she is doing Catholic calisthenics, man. Up, down. Jesus.
Stop.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so that's how they typically would initially test somebody for diabetes.
So is that how they do the diabetes test? They give you a Tic Tac?
Walter Cronkite or Walter Brimley.
Is that really how they test
Yes,
to see if you
I'm
have
serious.
diabetes?
I took that test to learn how to administer it.
So you go to the doctor and you say, "Hey, I think I have diabetes."
Yeah,
They say,
and they'd ask
"Eat this
you
Tic
the
Tac."
questions I asked you.
Okay.
They'd be like, well, symptoms point to it. Let's do the test. So they'd prick your finger, text your blood sugar, see what level it is.
Okay. Give you a Tic
Well, they'd
Tac.
ask you some questions and stuff too. What you eat today, da-da-da. You would fast, or you would always fast.
Okay.
Because then you have a baseline of your blood sugar because you haven't eaten anything. And then they'd prick your, ow, and then they would take your blood sugar. You'd eat the Tic Tacs. You'd wait, I think it's 10 minutes, and then they'd prick your finger again. Ow! And then they would check your blood sugar. And if it raised too much, your diabetes. What does she want?
I think we need to take a dog break.
What does she want?
What time is it? It is 4:00. You have one whole hour till
Get
you
outta
get fed.
here.
She's laying her head on my leg.
Oh.
All right, dog break.
All right, dog break.
What?
And wait, before the dog break, that is the diabetes test. Dog break. All right, we're back.
Dog break over. Emma needs
Dog
a
break
treat.
over. So I've been called a liar.
Yeah.
About the TikToks.
I don't
TikToks.
believe that the doctors just have TikToks chilling around.
So we don't have a Googler anymore. So I'm going to Google it myself and I will show you.
That's
so
the
you tell me
only
why.
way.
While I'm Googling, you tell me why you think I'm wrong.
I don't want to necessarily say I think you're wrong. I just don't think that's the way that they test. Like, I just don't see you going to the doctor and being like, "Hey, I think I have diabetes." All these questions, and then he just pulls out a Tic Tac. Like,
Hold on, diabetes Tic Tac test.
is there any other way to tell?
It has not.
Please
Hold
tell
on.
me you're wrong. Please tell me you're wrong.
Hold
I think I
on.
need to Google it myself because I don't know if I'm going to trust what you say.
All right. Oh, this would be a lot better if we had someone else finding it while we continued to talk.
Wouldn't it be like the first thing on there? How do you test for diabetes? Is that what you Googled?
No, I did Tic Tac test.
How
and
do you test to see if you have diabetes? A1C test. What's an A1C test?
That's a blood test.
There's a couple different ones. Glucose screening, glucose tolerance, random blood sugar, glucose tolerance. I already said that. Mark's wrong.
Was I lied to?
Mark's wrong.
No, she did the test on me.
So
and
I
me.
bet it is a test. I bet that's a way to test your blood sugar.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you genuinely think you have diabetes and you go to the doctor, I don't.
And they say, wait a minute. Kachika, kachika. Because I don't know how to make that sound for a Tic Tacs. But they just whip that thing out and just slap it against their hand.
Take
like,
this
all right,
Tic
buddy,
Tac.
take these Tic Tacs. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
We'll find out if you have diabetes or not. Like, I would be like, no.
Okay, so here's the deal. When I was training to be a medic in the Air Force, part of my training was which is why I should know these terms, diabetes wing. Yeah, that's the department I had to do a rotation in. And I, being the inquisitive one that I am, I asked about a lot of stuff. And she said, I was like, well, how do you know if someone has it? And she literally, almost exactly how I told you, told me about the Tic Tac test. And we did the test. She tested my blood and everything. So
maybe that's to test if you aren't at a doctor's office.
I don't know. Maybe that's like when we used to tell people, new guys, that they had to go get an exhaust sample from behind the jets with the trash bag.
Wouldn't that blow their skin off?
No, not if you're far enough back. I mean, they would be behind like the safety. It wasn't dangerous. It was just hilarious because they're out there with a trash bag and a mask on and goggles trying to capture the exhaust of the jet. And like wrap it up into a trash bag and be like, I got it.
Like, I know I'm gullible, but that is crazy.
It's the military. So
you have to do it.
You just do it.
But still, like, I've seen those things where people like they mess with the new guy and was like, do it this way, and it's like you have to know that person's messing with you.
Or the ID10T form.
What's that?
Write it out. Write it down.
ID10T
form. If you ever want to mess with a new person, tell them to go to like HR. Well, I guess not anymore. You'd get, accused of.
Oh, it says idiot.
Idiot. Yeah. So you have them go to the HR or like whatever department. For us, it was usually, hey, go to supply.
Yeah.
Because they would just mess with the new guys. It was great. Like, yeah, ask them for the ID10T form. And then
that's funny.
Yeah.
Because you could spell out 10 and then it wouldn't say idiot.
Well, but that would kind of ruin the joke, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know. But after I wrote it, because I even contemplated in my head, should I spell out 10 or should I write 10?
No.
See?
You would ruin the joke.
I'm the joke ruiner.
Yeah. Or you go and tell them to get like just, hey, go get elbow grease. But since that's what it was back in the day, now that everybody knows about elbow grease, you tell them to get the ID10T.
Blinker fluid.
Blinker fluid, yeah. Don't come back without blinker fluid.
I had to go get my blinker fluid checked.
Yeah? How was it? Low?
Always low. No, I went and got my car a couple weeks ago. Went and got an oil change on my car, and then I got it back, and it's been leaking oil since, pretty much.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there's been oil all over the ground, so I actually took it back today. And they fixed it, hopefully. We got to go get it here soon.
Well, she was always out there just kind of like licking the ground.
I was
like, what are you
not.
doing? She's like, I think my oil's leaking. Like, there's better ways to tell. But no, and the thing is, so they did definitely make a mistake.
Yeah.
I feel they made it right.
The way that they handled the situation 100%, we don't know, because it could be like a situation like Mom's where she took her car in to get it fixed. It came back worse, took it in again, then they fixed it again.
Then it was like $1,000.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like the way that they handled the situation was 100% great.
I mean, they're probably just saying, "Whew, thank God this one pays attention," because that would have been real expensive for us.
Because
they would have had to replace your engine.
Yeah.
It would have been their fault because your insurance company or whoever would have done an investigation. They would have said these were not torqued
because it was the oil. What are they called?
So they're the drain plugs.
Yeah,
so the things you pull out to change your oil, and they're supposed to be torqued to a correct. What is that? Torque, I guess.
Yeah, because if they fall out, all your oil and all your differential fluid fall out on the ground.
And if they're over tightened, they can leak. And if they're under tightened, they'll definitely leak.
Yeah, so apparently they weren't tight enough.
They weren't torqued.
Yeah, so
a torque is essentially a wrench that is calibrated with machines to a certain pressure. So when you apply that amount of force, well, it's force. When you apply that amount of force, when you get to that, it'll click. So that's how you know, all right, stop. That is how much pressure.
Oh, is when it clicks?
Is when it clicks.
Okay.
And what a lot of people like to do for some reason is they'll torque it, it'll click, and then they'll do a little extra. They'll do another click. It's like, listen, man, the whole idea of the fucking torque wrench is you get it to this specification and then you stop. If you do it more, because it's oil, it can leak because those threads are no longer perfectly aligned.
Yeah.
So, and it happens, right? I mean, you're doing a bunch of cars, whatever. People are allowed to make mistakes, but I'm a firm believer of the forgiveness comes from the effort.
And I agree completely because even coming from my standpoint of working at a business that can make mistakes, we've had certain things happen where it was a fault on our end and we had a dissatisfied customer, but we did everything that we could to make it right. And then that customer felt that and knew that and is now still coming all the time.
Because that'll save my business big time.
Yeah. You just have to acknowledge your fault and then do what you can to fix it.
Yeah. I mean, because I just recently had a falling out with a lender, and the biggest reason was everything was my fault.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, okay, I guess then we're going to move on then.
Yeah.
Because that's we're not working together anymore. Now I feel like it's I am attacking you.
Yeah.
And that's never my intention.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not attacking. And it's the same deal. You can either be defensive or you can, just stand behind what you did.
Well, I think
now, if you didn't do anything wrong, sorry not to overtalk you, but if you didn't do anything wrong, then you don't deserve to be berated.
I agree.
You can't just be like, listen, motherfucker, my engine could have, and everything would have been so much dramatic. But that doesn't give you the right to be mean to them if they're trying to make it right.
Yeah, I feel like it completely depends.
Yeah, if they're being bastards, then you let loose the Mark Gibbs.
Yeah, if I would have called them and they would have been like, "Oh, sorry, you brought it in 3 weeks ago. This isn't our problem."
There's no way it's
I'd have been like, "Screw, I'm never coming back to you guys." But I called and he literally was like, "Yeah, we'll get you in. We have the free re-inspection or whatever. We'll see what's wrong with it, see what we can do."
Yeah.
That's what you do. If someone called my work and was like, "Hey, I paid for a bath, but I never got it. What can you do to help me?"
Yeah.
I would be like, "Well, you can either bring your dog in, we'll give him a bath or
right
whatever.
Now.
Yeah, right now. Or we'll just refund it for you, or we'll add a credit for the next time you're here and they'll get a bath, or they'll get a free bath next time." It just really depends on
But then if
what
you offer all
happened.
that and that person's like, well, it's still pretty messed up that you guys didn't do that. I was expecting. It's like, woman, what do you want from me right now?
That's when it's I can't offer you anything else.
Yeah.
I can acknowledge our mistake and I can offer to make it better. And if you don't accept that, then you don't have to come back to us.
Yeah.
You don't have to like us. You can go somewhere else. That's fine.
Well, now it's on you, though.
Yeah.
Because now you're deciding, are you leading with your emotions because you want some type of satisfaction because you were wronged? Or do you just want the situation to be rectified?
Yeah.
Because that's the difference. Is it your ego that got hurt, or are you just dissatisfied in the service and you want them to make the service correct?
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. Don't take that shit personal. A lot of people take business very personal, especially in my business, right? Everything's very personal. It's like, dude, this is a business.
Yeah.
We are an exchanging of goods and services.
Yep.
And you need to relax. And your emotion of ego bruising or losing or winning doesn't give you the right to not think logically
Mhm.
anymore about the situation.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't mad at all. Like, I was a little bit frustrated at the fact that my car was leaking,
Yeah.
but, like, the way that they handled it was exactly what I was hoping for. Like, they're
Yeah, they
like,
make it right.
yeah, we'll make it right. So now
For
when I go
free.
get my car, yeah, it's gonna be free. I'm gonna bring it home and I'm gonna check to make sure it doesn't leak anymore. But if everything's back to normal, I will 100% go to them again because of the way that they handled the situation.
Oh yeah, and a perfect example of the other direction, that where I believe anger is very necessary. I went and got an oil change 150 years ago, it feels like, where they didn't latch the hood. And
Mm,
this was Jackie's Jeep. I was
your
picking it
ex-wife.
up, my ex-wife. So I was picking it up, and when I was driving home, the damn hood flew up
Oh gosh.
while I was driving. I was
Yeah.
on Mulberry in Fort Collins. So I'm driving down, and all of a sudden, nothing. I cannot see. They're completely blocked. My entire vision is
Oh my
completely blocked.
gosh.
Luckily, it didn't break the windshield.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, okay, well, this is unique. So I don't turn. I make sure, because I'm on the bridge of Mulberry. This is where this
Okay.
happens. Right when so there's no left, there's no right.
Yeah.
There's no shoulder to pull off to, because it's just a sidewalk with a barrier.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, don't turn, just wait. And I tried to slow down, and I was like, okay, if I kind of hit my brakes a little hard, maybe it'll slam it back down.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. So I hit my brakes pretty hard, and it slammed it down, and it essentially just clamped the hood closed now. So after that happened, I couldn't get it back open.
Oh.
So I had to deal with this freaking place who, it wasn't an oil change. It was a tire. I got my tires changed out, and then they did their like 100-point inspection, whatever.
Okay.
And that's when it happened. So I called this tire place. I'm like, hey, so this happened. My hood's messed up, but it wasn't just they didn't really take a lot of responsibility for the damage. Because eventually, after a lot of yelling, I got them to agree to repair the hood. So that was a victory there, but it took some doing. It took a
then
lot
that's
of doing.
wrong. Like, they should have, like, if that's clearly their fault, they were the last ones to touch
For
the hood.
real. Am I supposed to check my hood every time I go
Yeah.
to touch it?
No.
I'm not the one that opened it.
No, they definitely should have
Yeah.
taken responsibility
So
for that.
that took some rage to get him there. But the thing that I found that pissed me off more than anything else is I thought about, what if Jackie was driving?
Yeah.
That's all I thought about. And I was so pissed. And whenever I was yelling at them, that's what I was yelling at them about.
Yeah.
I'd be like, listen, you motherfuckers, you guys are lucky that I was the one driving.
Yeah.
And for some reason in my mind, she couldn't have handled it, right? Because that's where I immediately go to, is like, oh man, thank goodness it was me, because she would have died.
Well, it's also different. I feel like guys handle those situations differently.
Oh man, yeah. And I don't know.
Like, if that would have happened to me, I would have called you or Cody. Like, that that's just how it is. Like, not for everybody. Some
Excuse
girls
me.
can handle that no problem whatsoever. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, you guys are the protectors. Like, that's your role that you feel. And yeah, you feel like
And
you
I
need to
dig
protect
that
your
role.
woman.
I love it. But the thing is when you think somebody just potentially killed your woman who you're supposed to protect above all other things, that makes everything like up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm mad. How dare you try to kill my wife?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that we eventually got divorced. It doesn't change the fact that at the time it was
Yeah.
no way, how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, there was even less sympathy towards that like mindset. He essentially, anytime I brought up like, what if she was driving? You know, you're lucky it was me. It was just like, he didn't even care.
That's
He just
crazy.
glazed over it and said, you know, this is how it was, and accidents happen. He just kept saying,
Accidents do happen, but it's the way that you handle them.
for real.
But also that's a
he didn't even
huge
apologize.
lack of responsibility on them.
For real.
Like, we've had situations at Happy Tails where a dog was hurt and we missed it. Dogs have fur. It's like, unless you're doing
Yeah.
a thorough check of the dog every time they leave, you're gonna miss something.
Especially like dark-haired dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's been times where a dog will go home and a customer will call us and be like, "Hey, I found this scrape or this puncture or something, like,
What happened?
yeah, why wasn't I informed of this? What happened? And lots of times it's like we just completely missed it. And so we end up telling them, like, we're super sorry we missed this. It's, your dog's super furry. Like, it's just an easy thing to miss. But
Yeah.
if you take them to the vet, please let us know and we will cover the bill. Like, because that's a fault on our end for missing that.
Oh, excuse me. Got some spits in my freaking mouth.
Because that's what you do.
Well, because you make it right
Yeah.
within a reasonable expectation. Because, like, here's the
Yes.
opposite, right? Hey, man, my kid dropped the ice cream cone after we went outside. Like, I'm saying now you're at, like, Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
I need to quit saying like. I'm trying to work on that. I do recognize I say it a lot. Man, I don't know what is going on. But then they go in and say, oh, a fly flew into my soup on the patio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
That's not a fault of the business.
That's not a fault of the business. Yeah. That's an act of God.
Mm-hmm.
Your kid dropping the ice cream cone is your kid's fault.
Yep.
That you shouldn't go back and expect this business to just give you free ice cream because your kid's an idiot.
Yeah.
Or clumsy. I guess they're just kids. I'm trying not to be as harsh about kids either. But because I don't know, am I wrong here?
No, because like at work, say an owner takes her dog outside and is now in the possession of the owner, and say that dog got out or got ran off. That's not our fault.
For real.
You are now in control of your own pet. This is on you. We will help you find your dog, but you cannot come to us. Other than like the fact that it's on our property, but they would still be in control of their own animal.
Yeah, and say it takes off and it makes it to the road and gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
And they try to sue you for that.
Yeah.
It's like, ma'am, no, excuse me. You just happen to be here.
Yeah.
You
I don't know the laws of all of that stuff, but like that's not fault to us.
The laws should be that way in theory, right? Like I like to hope.
Yeah. Now, if we were walking that dog and the dog got loose, then that's on us because we are responsible for this animal.
I'd burn y'all to ground.
Yeah.
But if it was me though, I wouldn't.
No.
Because it was in my hand.
Yeah, because that's not our fault.
How could I possibly think happy tails? How dare you? So I don't know. I think a big thing is personal responsibility has shifted a lot.
Now, if they handed you an ice cream cone with a fly on it, different story.
Hey man, what's up with this fly? That's way different.
Yeah, I think it just really depends on the actual situation itself.
Again, personal responsibility. Because then when they handed it to him, they'd be like, whoops, there's a fly. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Let me make this right.
Yep.
And then the parent or the whoever would be like, God dang it, stupid fly. Man, thank goodness it's not Dairy Queen's fault. Like, if people were rational, that's how it would all go.
Yeah.
Man, people are going to think we got it. Keep coughing. It's very, very dry.
No, my skin is dry.
Right now. I am ashy.
Everything.
Oh, it's horrible.
My face in the morning when I wake up, I could just scratch my face forever because it's so dry.
Scratch my face forever. That made me think of the time I got hives.
Oh, I've had hives before.
Did I tell you, were yours itchy as hell?
Yeah, mine was from a horse.
So I made it all the way to school. I didn't. Brandy. I almost made it to school. All right, let me paint you a picture here. The year was a while ago. And I was it would have been Walt Clark.
Elementary.
Thompson Valley, freshman.
School.
I was a freshman in Thompson Valley. And I wake up and I'm just kind of itchy. I didn't really think much about it. Took a shower in the morning, but I kind of was just scratching. But when I wake up, I am a zombie. Always have been, always will be. So I'm very lethargic in the morning. If I'm itchy, I could be bleeding and I probably wouldn't notice. I'd be like, man, this is getting tender. The voice probably wasn't as deep back then. So anyway, I'm itching and then I'm getting ready and we're about to go to school and I turn the corner and I just remember Brandy saying, "What's wrong with your face?" And I go in the mirror and the first time I looked at myself apparently and my whole skin and neck and face and body is covered in hives. I had an allergic reaction to penicillin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, PNC got me. And it sucked. It sucked a lot. I do not like hives.
No.
Never had it again. or since. Hope to never have it.
I got them one time. I've always been allergic to horses, but it's always just been like nose, sneezing, runny nose, itchy eyes, things like
Yeah.
that. But apparently as I get older, it gets worse because a few years back I was over in Wellington, and where I was at had a horse, and I was going to pet it and then just immediately go wash my hands, cuz that's as long as I wash my hands and don't touch my face,
Stay
it's
away
usually
from your
fine.
orifices.
Yeah, so I just barely pet the horse's nose, and then literally within like 15 minutes, I felt them. They were everywhere,
Oh my
crawling
gosh.
up my neck. Yeah, it was awful.
Had you had hives before that?
No, and I didn't really know what was going on at first. I was just like, man, I'm itchy.
Like,
And then kind of
itchy.
same thing. I went inside, and they're like, you have hives all over you.
What'd you have to do?
I think I took a Benadryl.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I did. That's
Mine
all I
wasn't
remember
medicine,
from
though.
that story.
So like, it wasn't like in my bloodstream.
Isn't that so unfortunate? I have that much of the story, and then poof, it's gone. I don't remember what happened after that.
I mean, that's what you probably took a Benadryl. Like that's
Because I remember when I got my ear infection. That was awful. It hurt so much.
Oh my gosh,
I'd
my
like
ears
lay
have
upside down.
when I was a kid, I had really bad ears.
Yeah, you had tubes coming out of your brain.
I had tubes in my ears. I have a lot of like fluid in my
Just
ears.
full of fucking...
And so I had ear infections all the time. Man. Constantly. On top of strep throat all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you were sick all the time.
Yeah, but once I got my tonsils out, I really stopped getting sick. Like I just get like the once a year cold.
You and Brandy too. I remember a couple Christmases, you both were
Deathly sick. Yeah.
Like so sick we couldn't even do our morning ritual of all meeting up, waiting to go see what Santa brought.
No, we literally laid in bed and you guys brought the presents to us.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was all by myself that day.
Yeah.
I think that was the one I got the Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember being sick all the time as a kid. And it was always strep throat, always. And then they say if you get strep like more than 7 times in a year, you're supposed to get your tonsils out. And I'm
Wow.
pretty sure I had it 12 times that year.
Jeez.
Yeah, and so
We wanted to make doubly sure.
they were like, these have to come out, absolutely. So I got my tonsils removed, and
I think you're the only one.
yep, I really don't get sick anymore.
Yeah, Brandy still has hers. I'm
Knock
pretty
on
sure.
wood.
Yeah,
But yeah,
they
I'll
can
get
grow
like
back.
I'll get your tonsils.
No, they can't.
Oh my god! I was gonna say, please God, no.
Because yours would.
Yes.
And you'd get
Yeah.
sick again.
No, I was a sick kid. I'd say I'm not so much like I'm not like that anymore.
You grew out of it.
I
but
still
when you-
have ear issues.
When you were growing up, you were sick all the time.
Yep.
All the time.
Yeah.
Just a useless child, man.
Well, I think it's because when Mom was pregnant with me, I made her sick, so I think I lacked a lot of nutrition because she could only eat few things that didn't make her
You
throw
did
up.
almost kill her.
Like
It
all
could
she
have
could
been
eat
the-
was eggs.
It could have been all the pills I put in her water because I didn't want you. I was like, get out of here.
I'm the baby.
Man, I bet you that's happened. Like, it wasn't me. That was a joke. But I wonder if we Googled, I bet you there's been some little
Probably.
kid who didn't want
A
a
sibling.
you in their life. So they poisoned their mom.
I'm
to
the
do
best
it.
thing that has ever happened to you, and you know it.
It took a while for me to realize
Yeah.
that. I'll tell you that. Man, you're like an apple tree. It takes you 20 years before you give anything back.
Shut up.
And then it's worth it because
my
you get apples for the
God.
rest of your life.
You have
But
apples
that
forever.
it's just that first 20 years are just pure giving. nothing but giving to that tree. And that's you. So where'd we go?
I don't know. I'm being ambushed.
The dogs are telling us to wrap it up, so we're gonna.
The dogs do not like
We
the time change.
Emma, fuck off. So we started with. You got the list.
But we didn't hit any of that really.
Good. That's good.
We talked about work.
Oh yeah, your work.
Did
Some
we?
dog stuff.
Yeah, you asked about me going back to work. I
Oh, we
honestly-
apologize for being a week late.
Oh yeah.
So sorry about that, you
the
guys.
Tic Tac test.
Yeah, the diabetes a little bit. We dove into that.
Yeah.
Emma is loving this.
She loves the butt scratches. She's a big butt scratch fan.
Yeah, whatever. We talked about a bunch of stuff.
You know what we talked
Diabetes, dogs, and dumbasses.
about.
And Danielle.
Probably.
So thanks, you guys. We hope you enjoyed it. We always look for feedback. So
We talked about my car.
and we talked about Daniel's car. That's right.
the responsibilities of a business. Like your responsibilities.
Oh, that's the right and wrong.
Yeah.
Guten
Tag.
Guten Tag, everybody.
Okay, we
on
gotta
that
go get my
note-
car.
On that note,
Thanks for listening.
and as always,
Peace out, Girl Scout.
yeah.
Bye, Emma. Say
Yeah.
bye, Emma.
Yeah.